read 104 books this year. You've clicked on this video probably because maybe you want to up your reading, you want to read more maybe, or maybe you're interested. I love that. Welcome to my channel. I'm Hiba. Welcome. I'm actually not a fast reader. Like, I'm actually not. I'm not one of those people that sit down and binge a book, like sit down and read for hours. That can't be me. I'm an ADHDer. Like, that does not work for me. That actually sounds like a punishment. That sounds like a punishment.
I'm calling the police.
I am in awe of those people who do that, like especially the people who do like 24-hour readathons. Like, wow. When I tell people that I've read 100 books, they think that I'm reading for hours. They think I'm a fast reader, like I'm a speed reader, but I'm not. And I had a crazy 2024, right? This year has been the best reading year that I've had in the entirety of my life. I have read a lot and I love it. I love that I have read a lot, but if you haven't read a lot, that's also okay. Like, it's actually okay. Have read 30 books, if you read 10 books, if you read 5 books, if you read 1 book, it is fine. Reading is a hobby, it is not police. This year has been huge. It has been gigantic. From the end of last year, I planned a wedding and I had my wedding in May. I had my fairy tale wedding. You know, my dream wedding, and I planned it all by myself. Whilst also working full-time as a mental health clinician and occupational therapist, I have 2 jobs. Also, you know, do content. I also moved out for the first time as well. Like, I moved out for the first time out of my family home. I did all this and still read 104 books, and I'm not a fast reader. So if I can do it, you can. Because, like, how'd I do it? Let's find out how I did it. First tip is make time. Make time for reading. Without a doubt, I have not had a day that I have not read. Every single day this year, I've read every single day. You have to make time, because if you want to read more, guys, make time. There's no set time. Being an ADHDer, and I don't like demands. So for example, I set myself a time and time limits. Those kind of things don't work for me. I feel like a lot of people it does work for, but it doesn't work for me. I kind of like loosely do this, but it is a routine though. First thing in the morning, I read in my bed, and then I get up and I walk on the treadmill most days. And I read on the treadmill for about 30 minutes before work. And then when I come back from work, I also am walking for 30 minutes and I'm reading. Most of the time, you know, I try not to scroll when I'm on the treadmill, but I do, like I'm doing things. I try to stay on there. So if I've clocked out and I don't feel like reading, I will scroll and do things on my phone. But I do try my best to always read on the treadmill. I make time in other parts of my day as well. For example, when I'm waiting for someone, my husband, he goes, I'm waiting for him, like, and he's in the bathroom. So I bring out my Kindle. I take my Kindle everywhere I go. So I, you know, make time and I read. Sometimes when I'm at work, I don't feel like socializing when I'm at lunch. So I will just read during lunch. And that also is just and then all this time is just adding up, and it adds up and you're reading more. So make time, guys. Audiobooks. Where have audiobooks been all my life? Like, where has it been? Because this year has been the first time I've actually listened to audiobooks in my life. First of all, I'm not sponsored. I am a Spotify user. So it being available on Spotify was just, you know, like, oh, cool, I'll check out audiobooks. And then I was hooked. And then I also did not know that audiobooks were available on Libby. So you can borrow audiobooks through your Libby app, like through your local library. And I found that out after finding out Spotify had audiobooks. So that is amazing. And, you know, audiobooks have been essential in my life. As an ADHDer, moving out of my family home, I felt like it was daunting, the fact that I have to do tasks, like household tasks, because I'm like, how the heck do I incentivize this? How the heck do I incentivize myself to actually clean and do things and cook and those kind of things, right? My partner and I, you know, we split, you know, things. So he loves like the cooking and things like that. Now, because of audiobooks, I actually love cleaning. I actually find it enjoyable. I find it enjoyable to organize things. That is absurd for me to say that. That is crazy. I will not in my entire life think that I would hear this coming out of my mouth. Like, and because of audiobooks, I actually incentivize myself to do household tasks, some mundane tasks. I listen to audiobooks while I'm putting my skincare on or putting makeup, you know, dressing up for work, driving as well. Sometimes would listen to an audiobook and then also read that audiobook on my Kindle like at nighttime before going to bed. And that makes it faster for me to read. And again, it's not a race. It's not about I'm trying to read things fast, but it just happens and the number does go up. Like the number of books do go up. Actually, side note, I've got a actually really sad story. RIP my headphones. So my headphones are like my sanctuary, my safe space. I love them so much. My white headphones, my white Sony headphones. Literally, guys, this is the most ADHD story in the whole world. Walking back to the car from work and I had all my bags and I was on the phone. Guys, every time the craziest things happen when I'm on the phone because I'm distracted by like speaking to someone on the phone and I'm just like, I do miss out things, right? Anyways, I need to stop leaving things on my car when I'm like getting in my car. I left my headphones on top of my car. Guys, I left my headphones on top of my car and I literally was driving and I saw it like fly off in the rearview mirror. It flew off and then I saw two cars drive over it and it broke. The ashes were spread all over the road.
Oh, hell, goddamn, oh.
Like, you know how sad it was the next day to come to work? And like, first of all, I was crying. I was crying all the way home. I went to work the next day and I saw like bits and pieces. And I was like, oh my God.
Oh my God, my Shayla, my Shayla, congratulations.
My Shayla. I was so sad. I was so sad. Yeah, I love audiobooks. Next tip is keep your books with you. Keep it on your body. Like literally, like keep it on you. Like I always have my Kindle with me everywhere I go. Fun fact actually, I actually read on my Islamic marriage ceremony, my nikah. I actually read on that day. I didn't read on my wedding day, but I did read on the morning of my wedding. I did read on my Kindle because it's a routine. Like as soon as I wake up, I read my book. I actually read it on my engagement as well. Somalis call it sordones. Read during that day. I was waiting for guests and things like that. You know, waiting for things to start. Well, I'm gonna read. And I also read in the bridal room as well. It's not crazy. It does sound crazy. Like, you know, it sounds like, oh, like, you know, read on my, but guys, like it's just routine. Like reading is very regulating for me. Like as a neurodivergent girly, like my Kindle and books are like a comfort object for me as well. So everywhere I go, like it has to be with me. I went to a concert last night and I had my Kindle in my bag. Like I just, even if I won't pick up my Kindle during that time, I just need to have it on me because it's just so comfort, like it's a comfort like thing and I feel regulated. So during the nikah and you know, the engagement, I was feeling nervous and you know, it's a way to regulate myself, the way to calm my, you know, nerves down. Sometimes as well, it will actually opt out of like you scrolling on your phone sometimes as well. Like, you know, your screen time will go down if you do read. If you just read and like it's just at home, your book's at home and your Kindle's at home, then you know, like you're just gonna read when you get home, but you spent the whole day out. Like you could have actually made some time to read more. And you know, you don't have to, but it's nice when you do. The next tip is read books you like. This is a hobby. It's supposed to be enjoyable. It's supposed to be fun. This is not school. Well, if you are in school, if you are at uni, do your prescribed reading. But if you like reading as a hobby, it's a hobby, okay? No one is forcing you to read books. And I know in this reading space and in the reading community, there is sometimes like people want to read certain books because they want to seem smart or they want to seem, all these people are reading it, you know, and you feel a bit bad if you're reading your romantasy or you're reading, you know, books that are seen as like, you know, not as literary as other books, which I can go into a whole thing about that because books are books. Everything's valid. You know, there is benefits to all types of books. If you do pressure yourself to read a book, like books that you don't like and you're not gonna vibe with, then don't. Like, you are much more likely to end up in a reading slump. You are much more likely to just not like read, and it makes you like not like reading, and you're just like, oh, I'm gonna read that book again. Like, so just read books you like, and you know what will happen? You will read more. You'll actually finish the books, guys. You will finish the books because you are reading books you like. The thing is, I read everything. I do have a favorite genre, it's literary fiction, and I like weird, thick, international books, like books that are like from different, like the characters are set in a different country. I really love that. I am much more likely to finish and devour books like that because I like them. So if you like romance books, just romance books, read your romance books. I love when people read, by the way. Like, when I see someone reading as well, I'm just like, oh my God, like they're reading, oh my God, it's so cute. Like, what are they reading? I love when people are passionate about things that they like. It's so cute, like, and it's so lovely to see. And another thing is keeping track of your books. So I use Goodreads and Fable currently. I was using Storygraph last year, but I actually stopped using it. I felt isolated, like there wasn't like, you know, a community. Didn't really give much of a chance to Storygraph, so I'm really open to trying out different things other than Goodreads. Even though I love Goodreads and I will use it because it's habitual to me, I naturally gravitate towards Goodreads. But the interface is just so much prettier in Storygraph and Fable, and I love Fable right now as well. So if you have a Fable, if you have a Goodreads or Storygraph, find me on there. I'm gonna leave my links in. Follow me. Love to connect. Want to build a reading community. When you are like keeping track of your books, you're seeing how many books you read, and it actually motivates you to read more. Like, I just get that dopamine. Like, I'm just like, oh my God, like, I'm on 90 books. I wasn't actually actively aiming for over 100 books this year. Like, I really wasn't. My target was actually originally 75, and then I was like, I read more than 75, and I was like, oh, that's boring. Let me, you know, boost up to 90. And then I'm not the kind of person that sets a goal and actually, like, I struggle with, you know, hitting goals and doing that kind of stuff. I think maybe it's like an ADHD thing for me, but I don't like the restriction of setting that goal for myself. But I think just seeing that, and then I get very excited though, so it makes me want to read more. So yeah, so keeping track actually has really helped me as well. Lastly is reading multiple books on the go. I could not believe prior to this year, I was only reading one book at a time. Like, that is just like wild. I'm like bewildered, like it's bewildering, like literally. I read 3 books at a time. So I would read like physical copy, Kindle, and then, you know, audiobooks. So then I'll have these guys on the go, and, you know, it's so fun, you know, switching between, you know, books, because you're just like, oh, okay, I'm done with that vibe. Let me go to this other, you know, the other vibe. And then the audiobook, usually it's like when I'm doing something, like I would be listening to, I actually need to pick an audiobook today because I'm going to be, cleaning and stuff like that, so probably need to pick an audiobook. Like, I used to listen to a lot of podcasts, but I think audiobooks have replaced that now, because I'm just so obsessed with wanting to read as much as possible. It's one of my biggest passions, like a specific interest of mine. It's huge, and I love it so much. So I think maybe that's what also drives it as well, because I'm so fixated and I'm obsessed with reading. And yeah, those are my tips, guys. Like, subscribe, and comment. Guys, I would really love to hear what you have to say. Subscribe right now. Subscribe to my channel, because I love reading and I like talking. Follow me on my socials. Keep connected. Bye, guys.